linebacker we just signed. Little Dovey, you got too, man. I don't know if you know that, Deke.
I heard.
He's
from here. He went to
Bethel Park. Yeah, that's right on the way, man. Shout out, man. But yeah, I think when is this? What? It was like over the weekend. I felt like, right?
Well, we had him in for a tryout
a
week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. And now it was like officially like done now.
Yeah, then they just signed him.
Yeah, but shout out to Nick Kwiatkoski. Hopefully I did not butcher his name, or since TG actually knows him, his nickname is Nick the Quick, or Nick Quick. That's what he said with a little celebration. He has this whole little, that's what Nick has already. So shout out to Nick, man. But going into it, coming off of his 7th season, man, has played for, started out with Chicago, was there for his first 4 years. Then from there went to the Vegas Raiders, and then his last season was with Atlanta. Started inside linebacker early on in his career. This past year in Atlanta was, exclusively special teams. Still moves well, though. I think he's a productive player, good player. When he's out there on the field, to me, I know people have said like Spillane, Cole Holcomb. All of those dudes are going to be, to me, similar, but good player, fundamentally sound player, productive player. Like I said, knows how to cover. I don't classify him as like a legit cover linebacker, but he knows how to cover. He knows where his hope is. He knows how to make plays on the ball. Very similar. When we talk Spillane, it was
that's what I thought.
A lot of
like,
that. Yeah, it's
Spillane's
a lot of that, bro.
for
It's
this
a lot of
defense.
that. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of that. Where it's like, I don't necessarily look at him as like a true cover guy, because we didn't look at Spillane like that either, but he is a good player who knows how to execute and consistently do the things he's supposed to. He's not going to put himself in any harm's way and stuff like that. But it's a good player, man. I think that when you talk about bringing him in here, he pushes a Landon Roberts. He's going to push Mark Robinson. He's going to push Cole Holcomb to an extent as well. So I just think, like, when you're talking about the defense side, I like that. But then also when we talk special teams, because what Spillane brought, we know Spillane, since he's been here, even when he was starting on defense, has been one of those consistent special teamers as well. He's one of those guys that is going to give you that. Whereas we know like Cole Holcomb probably is not going to give us a lot. Landon Roberts, I know he played some punt down in Miami, but we don't know how much we're going to get out of him in the special teams vein. But at least with Nick, we know that's something that he does do, and does do at a high level as well, man.
Probably his best way to make
Seriously,
rosters.
yeah.
He didn't even play at all in Atlanta last year, so I'm assuming a lot of it was with special teams. I know I was checking his game logs for special team snaps. I know he was playing a lot throughout his career. I don't know how many in particular last year.
Last year it was like, I think he played 230 snaps.
That's a lot.
I think 220 of them were all special teams. Like that's why I said like pretty much exclusively on special teams this past season. But it was kind of different because in Vegas he got some defense, and then obviously in Chicago
they paid him out in Vegas a lot.
Seriously, yeah,
a lot more than Spillane just got.
Right, and that was the thing where it was kind of
like the star, the bona fide guy.
Right. But then to go from, all right, Vegas moves on from you, then you go to Atlanta where you don't even play defense, you're strictly just special teams. So we know in that vein, this is going to be a chance for him to see if he can revitalize it or get that back going for him, and if he really wants to make another move at being a starter. And it's a great opportunity for him. We have, outside of Mark Robinson, a whole new cast of characters. We can't say that we have this guy surefire return to starting. Like, we got Cole Holcomb and Landon in terms of the money, and that lets us know that they're going to get the best opportunities to be out there and be the guys. But they're not getting paid to the extent where it's like, nah, nobody can beat them out or nobody can get reps from them. And that's the thing that we've said even with Mark Robinson. And for Nick, I think it's going to be a similar case with him. He does do some things on tape that you're like, all right, man, this could work. But the consistency is going to be the big part, because you got to do it every single play, and he's going to have competition in there. That's the other part. And money-wise, it's not on his side right now because, like we said, with Cole and Atlanta having the newer money. But in terms of special teams, though, man, I think, Mark Robinson is going to be his biggest competition in terms of that style of player in that role. So,
you think Tanner Muse is a lock to make the roster?
I feel like his special teams gives him a chance.
Definitely gives him a chance. I wonder if, because he's probably the most decorated special teams guy right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
when we signed him, remember, he was supposed to be the one that we kind of viewed as, all right, that's definitely the special teams ace, linebacker type. Man, we're not going to really see no defense. Yes, you're athletic. You could run, but you just haven't really turned into a defender just yet. So, to me, I don't know if he's a lock per se. But
yeah, how much do we value that versus having a dude that could do both? I guess that's like a Kwiatkoski or Mark Robinson.
So dudes that could do both always have a little bit more of a upgrade on them. But the thing you got to be careful about is, yeah, you can do both, but you doing both, is it going to be more productive than this guy excelling at just this one thing? And that's some of the conversation with Mark Robinson. We know Mark has a higher ceiling for defense, but right now, Mark hasn't produced the way that Tanner has produced on special teams. So if I'm having that convo of who gets that helmet, Mark gives me a little bit more potential on defense, but right now, Mark is still behind Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts. So do I have him just waiting or hoping that something happens here? Or do I bring this dude who can at least give me production, like legit production here, while these two dudes take what they, take care of what they're supposed to take care of? I just think like that becomes a part of that conversation a little bit.
I guess anything can change from year to year, but now that I think of it, we kept 5.
We did, yeah.
I think we have 5 right now. So we could just keep what we got and move forward.
Yeah, because a lot of that is going to determine how many D linemen we keep, how many in the secondary we keep.
We typically keep 6 linebackers,
we do,
right? Yeah, we really like linebackers.
Yeah. You know we like linebackers. Come on, man. This Pittsburgh. Yeah, we try to have 10. We want 10. Inside, outside, and all of us dressed. But that's changed a little bit now. But that was our goal. Like, we want everybody in a helmet. Everybody get a jersey. Let's go.
Yeah, I was thinking Spillane replacement with Kwiatkoski whenever we signed him. Now, who's better right now? I'd probably lean Spillane, because you look at his last 2 seasons, he's way more productive than Kwiatkoski. Kwiatkowski's a little bit older.
Yeah.
So, there's a reason like Spillane went out to the Raiders. He got paid like $3.5, and I'm guessing Kwiatkowski's on like the vet men here.
Yeah.
He's fighting for his job. So that's the difference in like their stages of their careers.
But it's crazy how fast that can happen, though. You talk about 2 years ago, it's a different combo for Deke. When he's walking into the contract in Vegas versus where he's at now, Vegas, Atlanta removed, coming here, like you said, more than likely vet men. Now you fighting for your NFL career. Like, what happens after this stop?
I do wonder.
That's how
I wonder if you asked Steeler Nation, do a poll, do a survey, whatever you want to call it. Who would you rather have, Kwiatkoski or Spillane?
You gotta be uncomfortable calling a poll, man. You called it the right thing initially, bro.
No, survey, questionnaire. Who'd you rather have, Spillane or Kwiatkoski?
Yeah.
I think they'd lean Kwiatkoski.
They would.
And I think that's because of he was a 4th-round pick, the connections to the area, all that. But I think just a bigger name in general. But Spillane was good for us, man.
I also feel like Spillane was always viewed as never good enough here. So people never really fully appreciated him. And remember, we talked about that even when it was, him versus a Devin Bush early on. And it's like, nah, man, Spillane still is doing a lot of good things. But the label on him early was what? He can't cover. He's not athletic. So people, once they put him in that box, they just kind of wrote him off. And we would talk about how productive he was, the plays that he would make, and how even if that's his worst attribute, we couldn't even pull up outside of one play in Carolina where he actually was getting exposed in that vein. But I think that because of everybody's kind of like predetermined mindset with him from early on, I think that also has lingered into where we're at right now. Whereas with Nick, he's new. And you know how it is when it's something new. It's like, well, I like Nick better.
We're not scarred.
Yeah. You don't have to undo like any of the negative, any of the PTSD. He never had a Cleveland coming back from injury performance.
Right.
Whereas Spillane
and that was in a very big moment, very highlighted moment.
So it's like certain things like that we're going to naturally remember. Even if we don't want to, it naturally does come up. But then
that was bad. It was.
But then we think of some of his highlights, right? The Derrick Henry hit, the pick 6 versus Lamar. Like, he's had some moments,
It's tough because that wasn't in the playoffs.
You
got to wait the playoffs more.
They do. I'm 100%, bro.
Right or wrong, 100%. Indifferent, whatever. But
playoffs, it does matter. Playoffs,
like you bringing up that Browns performance, and then now you're bringing now you're bringing up Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I'm like, I don't care about that. To be honest with you, those 2 regular season games, it was cool at the time. But can we make some tackles in that Browns game?
Yeah, that's the truth, bro.
Can we stop the Browns from running for was it like 200 yards on us?
It was like, yo, that's what you do. That's what you're known for, to come downhill, and they did that on But I feel like it's stuff like that would have people kind of like on the fence with this whole Spillane conversation. Whereas with Nick, you don't have to deal with that, because any of his bad tape, unless you're like us going back and watching and looking for it to find out who this player is, nobody in Steeler Nation is really going to be like, oh yeah, I remember when Nick had this bad play, in year 3. I remember when Nick had this bad play 3 years ago. Like, it's not going to be any of that.
No one cares. Make good plays with us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, but I think it's a good pickup though, man. I do like the move.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, veteran, proven guy in this league, has played on defense, has started on defense, has proven himself on special teams. So either way, you're gonna have competition in multiple elements, and you're getting a player that's coming back home. Whenever you come back home, man, you want to show out. You want to be the guy.
Little power up.
Yeah, seriously, man. Like, you don't think any of the dudes
that didn't work for Wisniewski though, unfortunately. We cut him quick.
Hold on.
Remember, here's the guard, Stefan Wisniewski.
No, I'm trying to think. Why do I know? Why was I with Wisniewski? Why do I know I was with him somewhere? Where was that at? Was that AZ? I swear I feel like I seen his name somewhere.
Totally he jumped around a little with the Chiefs and the Eagles, caught a couple Super Bowls, I think.
He came right after he won the Super Bowl.
With the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and he said, I'm coming back home to win one with the Steelers.
That's what it was.
And then he got cut.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened, though.
Just didn't work out. I mean, he must have been really bad because I feel like our O-line was really bad heading into that season. And he was supposed to be our starter.
Right.
And we cut him.
I don't remember what happened with that, but I do remember the name.
All I'm saying is I guess he didn't get that hometown power up.
Hey, man. Hey.
I missed him.
Sometimes the intentions are there, but the execution just doesn't follow, man. All right. But that was the one thing, man, that when I saw, him being from Bethel Park, I'm like, you know what? You're going to be extra motivated because you don't want to get embarrassed in front of your folks, man. Coming to training camp, like, you don't want your peoples out there, and you know your people's going to pull up. Anybody that you went to school with, when you talk, I mean, first off, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know that that's a big deal. But
that'd be amazing just to play a season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You grew up here.
Seriously, man. So it's like, it's going to be a lot that comes with that. So he is going to make sure that he's going out there putting his best foot forward. So I like that also, man. But then just the redemption element of it, man. You didn't have your arc. You starting, you had your chance, you got paid. All right, didn't work out. You was down to the special teams rule again. What are you going to do from here?